Hi everyone, welcome to another exciting session by Digital Vidya. The topic for today's session is Web Evolved Digital Marketing Experience with Artificial Intelligence and Virtual Reality. And for leading this session, we have Abhishek Rathi. Abhishek has over 14 years of diversified experience in FMCG, consumer goods, and life insurance industry, with his last 8 years in leading digital initiatives across three leading life insurance companies. He has been assigned over eight categories, which include digitalization of distribution and operation processes, setting up e-commerce channel, digital strategy, digital marketing, relationship management, business development, new alliance partnerships, digital sales management, and much more. In his current role at PNB MetLife India, he is heading the marketing, digital e-commerce, and analytics. Over to you, Abhishek. You can have a great session. And for the people joining in for the first time, you can just put in your questions in the questions panel on the right-hand side. We'll take up all your questions once we are done with the presentation. Thank you. Welcome,
Thank you
Abhishek.
so, thank you so much, Divya. That sounded like like a case for me asking for raise for sure for my manager. There's too many initiatives to be done for the organization. But great, good afternoon, everyone. I know this is a holiday for most of you, so thank you for joining the webinar. We're going to be having an exciting sneak preview into what artificial intelligence and virtual reality opportunity exists in businesses. I see a lot of attendees still joining, so we're going to just warm up first with what's what's the context of digital marketing in today's time, and then we'll move into the world of virtual reality and artificial intelligence. And I'm no tech person. I'm a digital evangelist, as I call myself. And the large part of our discussion is going to be how we can leverage these two new technologies for business. That's going to be the focus of looking at business use cases, which I'm sure most of you, would be wanting to know today. So I'm going to put, the presentation on, and I'm going to just switch myself off so that you focus entirely on the presentation and not myself. Yes, here we go. Yes, so we have heard about the 4 Ps of marketing. All of us as marketing students from Philip Kotler heard about the product, price, place, promotion. Now, but honestly, if you look to today's world, is this relevant, right? I would like to give it a twist. And I say that the entire paradigm of digital marketing is constantly evolving and changing. And there is a new 7 Cs, which has emerged. Before I move into the top two, the product has actually given way to customize. No longer the customer expects you to buy the same product that you're offering. The customer, she's expecting you to provide opportunities to customize, your offering. Example, Nike, right? They allow you to actually customize the shoes. Price has given way to comparison. I think this is a great advancement, courtesy the aggregation business and a lot of aggregators in this space. It has allowed customers to actually compare and know transparent prices. This is by far the biggest revolution as I see, because it allows customer to take the call with respect to where is the cheapest product available or where is the value associated. So price is given way to compare. Place, as we call it, I think, earlier times we used to go to searching for outlets, searching for opportunities to, kind of find the product that we're looking for. But right now, businesses across are looking at providing convenience. You have the advent of e-commerce in across all parts of the world, and especially now in India for the last 3 years. And, with the opportunities like Amazon Go, enterprises are looking at providing conveniences and even selling through Facebook messengers, as of recently. Promotion has given way to connect. I think no longer we are talking about just advertising to people at large, but largely enterprises are now looking at forming communities, right, and connecting with people, whether it is on social, whether it is through content, or whether it is through their community building exercises. So I see the world of 4Ps certainly moving into customize, compare, convenience, and connect. Having said that, there are three more C's that I want to talk about, and these are context and content. I think with so much of data being available with enterprises, it's important for enterprises to understand the context in which the customers have to be served, and also the content which will allow them to serve that context, right? So I would expect, let's say, a e-commerce firm to know about what was the shopping basket that I saw last time, right? Know the context in which I was searching, whether it was a shirt, whether it was a shoe, whether it was a belt, okay, and provide me with the relevant content for enabling me to actually search through and enable my decision making. And then, the follow the pattern of customize, compare, convenience, and connect. And the last seventh C, which is very, very interesting, and my personal favorite, is it's all about culture now, because digital marketing, as we say now, is no longer the realm of only one team in the organization, but largely it's to do with the culture of the organization, whether the sales teams, whether the operations, whether the IT, or whether your service teams are actually embarking and embracing this culture of, digital first. So I would say, in summary, there is a constant shift from 4Ps to 7Cs. At this point, I would ask my colleague Divya to just run a small poll, whether you actually believe that there is a shift happening from these 4Ps to 7Cs. Yes, Divya, over to you.
And now,
So we'll look to have people polling in with their views.
around 70% of them have already voted. It's
Okay,
moving
you
to
want to
78 now. Yes.
wonderful, great.
People are still polling in.
Yeah, maybe let's wait for 85 and then you want to show the results.
Sure. So we are stuck at 84. Let's 85, here it goes.
Okay, great. So why don't you show the results?
Yes.
Yes.
Have shared the results. Yeah. So 69% of the people say yes, they believe that it's for customers only, while 4% say no, and rest 28% said there's a slight chance.
Okay, great, great, wonderful. I think this is good. So largely the majority is with me in terms of the shift. Great. Why this context? Because virtual reality and artificial intelligence are new age technologies, evolving technologies. And it's essentially important to set the context of where we are and where the customer is, which is why, this slide will, give a sneak preview of that. Okay. Moving on, I think this is one of my favorite quotes. In a world saturated with largely undifferentiated goods and services, the greatest opportunity for value creation resides in staging experiences. And I have my own little interpretation of, what does this mean for enterprises like us? What it means is that all of us, are in the business of selling products or services. My view is that products and services will become hygiene, and what people will buy or pay value for is going to be experiences. And virtual reality and artificial intelligence actually provides that opportunity to create, tremendous experiences. Okay, moving on. Let's deep dive into virtual reality, uh, and know what is this. Again, a favorite quote of mine. I think an enterprise which is leading the efforts as far as virtual reality adoption is concerned, as part of their manifesto as well as part of their vision, is Facebook. What Mark Zuckerberg has to say: virtual reality was once a dream of science fiction, but the internet was also once a dream, and so were computers and smartphones. We all know that Facebook has already crossed 1.7 billion, people at large. It's the biggest, so to say, community at large, biggest country, if we were to call it. The other two, applications. WhatsApp has also crossed, over 1 billion, and Facebook Messenger as well. So yes, definitely. While all of us feel that virtual reality probably has, some sense, not sense, but Mark Zuckerberg truly believes that it's a future of enterprises. Yes. uh, VR is a next experience platform. And why do I say that? All of us in digital marketing have seen the amazing results that video has provided to all of us, right? We all believe and we have seen that video performs really well in terms of engagement. But what if this video is taken to a next level and virtual reality actually provides you an opportunity to create immersive 3D experiences, which are much better than video. Uh, why is that, right? If you look at it, we heard about the fact that the human attention span is close to about 8 seconds, similar to a goldfish, right? With this attention span going lower and this amazing clutter, virtual reality actually provides you an opportunity to break that clutter, have undivided attention, and then immerse the customers into a world that you want them to actually look at. It actually also amazingly provides an opportunity to have realistic models, right? It's more of that emotional connection. You feel as if you're living the experience. And here's an example of how a customer is actually exploring an Audi, using virtual reality. There's amazing, incredible visualization which are possible, which can actually break complex ideas, complex, terminologies. For instance, I come from the world of financial services, and it's very difficult for us to actually explain why do people have to save for retirement, or why do people need to, kind of plan early in life. Virtual reality provides that opportunity to actually break that complex part and also involve the customer in the entire process. uh, I'm a huge fan of cost optimization as well as much for revenue maximization, and I feel that it also allows to break that myth that to actually grow, you need to have a brick and mortar. Having a virtual reality device, you could potentially have India or maybe any part of the world as your market. So there's significant cost reduction possible, using virtual reality. Before we move into the world of virtual reality and what it offers in terms of business use cases, let's look at how the industry is looking at virtual reality or augmented reality, right? Right now, the market is about $3.8 billion with estimated 43 million users. According to Goldman Sachs, by 2025, the virtual reality and augmented reality market is going to be around $35 billion, largely supported by video games or live events, right, which actually see the best of VR coming in. Having said that, if you look at the left side of the screen, healthcare, education, as well as real estate and retail as well, is really picking up fast. I know of my friends in the real estate business who are actually using virtual reality to allow for the first home visit. You build a kind of a show flat. It's not possible for everyone to actually come down to a show flat and actually see the experience, and the show flat can never give you an ecosystem of a real estate community that they are trying to create. I think virtual reality offers that opportunity of breaking that myth of having to create a show flat. You could actually potentially reach out to a larger audience with this. Uh, yes, they are dedicated VR divisions created by major players, Google, Apple, and Facebook in particular is really gung-ho about this. They have invested hugely into this exercise. There is, however, having said that, significant uncertainty, and we'll come to why there are significant uncertainties as far as VR is concerned, right? Moving on, let's look at the ecosystem. Uh, it's still in nascent stage, but it is maturing rapidly. If you look at, there are three core parts to the entire ecosystem. One is the infrastructure providers, which is the head-mounted devices, right, and the smartphones. Then you have the tools and the platform. Largely, the Oculus is a great platform that people are knowing about. And then you have applications and content, content providers. And this is where a whole host of people are, kind of emerging to provide applications and content. And this is where enterprises like you are going to be, kind of playing part of leveraging the platform of Oculus or leveraging the head-mounted devices like a Google Cardboard and then partnering with content providers to actually provide amazing immersive experiences. I'm sure you know of many other social platforms which are created only for virtual reality. VTime is one of those. Facebook is soon going to start their own virtual reality community. Okay, now then, my favorite subject. What are the use cases? Uh, in my view, there are three distinct use cases, three distinct business use cases of virtual reality, right? The first one is opportunity for enterprises to create an imaginary world. Second is model the real world, right? And third is teleport me to the action. Now let's look at what are the jobs to be done, right, for each of these three distinct use cases. In the case of creating an imaginary world, it's all about helping me explore, helping me escape, right? I don't want to be in this scenario. Take me to a different world. I think the real estate example that I spoke about, or the launch that we saw of Oculus by Mark Zuckerberg, all those were examples of transporting oneself to a different world altogether. What's the jobs to be done for model the real world? I think this is where a lot of enterprises could play a part in helping prepare a safe environment, see what the output will be. A lot of engineering use cases are possible through virtual reality, and we'll see some of those. And teleport me to the action. I think this is like make me feel like I am there, right? And the entire sporting travel industry could actually benefit using virtual reality. Let's see some applications of virtual reality in businesses. Mental health therapies. Now, what about mental health therapies? I think therapy designed to mimic real life scenarios that a patient struggles with in a controlled environment. Virtual reality offers that opportunity. Empathy tools. Uh, 3D virtual environments could actually be used to create emotional, powerful first-person experiences that create deep empathy for viewers. Social interaction, using avatars. By feeling truly present, you can share unbounded spaces and experiences. These are some of the examples of the first use case of creating an imaginary world. Model the real world. Let's look at it, right? And I think the entire healthcare community is really leveraging it by enabling trainee surgeons to gain practical experience, but in a safe environment, right? That's the most important. Or the simulation exercise. Take customers through what-if journeys to help them understand complex product ideas and impact of their choices with real data. And anyways, we spoke about the real estate example. The third one, teleporting and live sports broadcasting. I don't think so. I need to speak about it. I don't know how many of the Formula One fans or how many of the football fans we have in the audience, but I would certainly like to be transported to a world where Messi is playing, and I'm actually able to see Messi at a close distance, being here in India. Interactive retail, I think, enable customized and personal buying service experience, allowing brands to provide customers with a wow experience. And we know of one such company which has actually used virtual reality called Alibaba. Alibaba actually opened virtual reality to allow people to actually buy just using those head-mounted devices and just selecting it rather than the age-old methods of clicking and selecting and then buying. I think that's where the future lies. Or travel experiences, frankly, create excitement with travelers literally being able to visualize themselves there. So I'm going to take a pause as we are getting in more people joining in, and I'm going to request Divya to have our second poll of the day. And this poll is all about asking you which of these three distinct business use cases you feel are relevant for your business. Divya.
Launched.
So Divya, how many polls, how many people have polled
45.
so far?
We
45.
have
Okay.
crossed 60 now. 65, 70 plus people have voted. 70 plus % of people have voted,
The
reaching
last 10,
80.
15. Wow, wow.
Yeah.
The last 10-15% is always a difficult one. Yeah.
Launch. We have crossed 80. I
Great.
closed up
So
the poll, and so the results are here. Everyone else can also see it. 14% feel that creating an imaginary world is suitable for them, while 54 feel that model the real world is suitable, and for 32, it's teleporting me to the action.
very good. And it's very interesting because what the group actually did is also a sneak preview of what we did at PNB MetLife, and largely my presentation is going to talk about the experiences and opportunities outside. But I would love to share some experience of what we did at PNB MetLife as well. So we launched a platform or experience called Converse, and in that we allowed an opportunity for customers of ours to experience a virtual office. So it's available in top 10 cities in our branches. Customers can come in. They are given a VR gear to kind of wear. It's a Samsung Gear VR with a Samsung S6, and when they actually wear the VR gear, they are transported into a different office altogether. It's on the 10th floor, and then they can see the skyline, and most importantly, they actually interact with a virtual agent of ours called Kushi. uh, what's so different about it? I think the difference is that the branch experience has been more or less similar in the last 15, 20 years. We have never actually seen a drastic shift, paradigm shift on that branch experience. The opportunity that we saw at PNB MetLife was to actually give a great experience to people who are coming to the branch. uh, there's a real-time information available through the virtual agent. People get access to the experts, and there is information available, at just a click, and all this without doing anything. What also is humbling for us to know is that uh, 95% of the people who actually experience virtual reality Converse platform gave us the top two box ratings. And this is for the last 4 months that this has been operational. And this is very humbling to know that the experience that we launch is actually being kind of appreciated by people. And we are looking at taking it to the next level of leveraging our sales force, to give the same experience to people at large, and then slowly and gradually enable VR devices so that we can actually reach customers at large as well. So we're going to be moving into the next section of artificial intelligence on this note. Okay, before we move on to that, the last slide on VR, I think, some of you who do not believe that VR probably is, the right, I just want to talk about three things that actually VR overcome in 2017 and 2016. One is the price. I think you have a wide spectrum of, devices available from a free Google Cardboard to a $600 worth of Oculus Rift. There are lots and lots of content players now available, and you have amazing cameras available by GoPro and others, and Samsung as well, and LG and all the others joining in to actually create VR content. And the distribution as well has opened up with iOS and Android. Having said that, let me tell you, being into this space for the last 1 year and having experienced virtual reality, this is still evolving. There is still, kind of an issue with respect to the technology. Like you have, operating systems of Android pretty standardized. That's not the case as far as the virtual reality is concerned at this stage. There are still platforms that are being emerged as, maybe one by Android, one by Facebook, and Apple and the others. So, and also more importantly is the compatibility between the smartphones and the head-mounted devices. So, my recommendation to all of you who are thinking at virtual reality, and using for business use cases, decide your top two head-mounted devices and decide your top five, smartphones that you're going to be working with, because the gyroscope, the accelerometer, all this will have a bearing effect on how the VR experience is. So we are trying to actually solve those problems as we proceed in our journey as well at PNB MetLife. Yes, on that note, let's move into the world of AI. I think this is a hot topic. I have my own definition of how I describe AI, right? All of us know that, it's something to do with automating manual tasks, creating machine learning, deep learning, etc. I have a simplistic explanation to AI, which is AI is the new UI, right? And it is a provocative statement, but I would say that because this is a perfect example of how design and how technology actually work together, right? It's not only the technology solution, it's everything to do with the experience that you create with the content and with the design. And if you know that there is a great trend in the world from people spending time on Facebook or Google Plus or Twitter applications, which are social media applications, to messenger based applications, whether it is WhatsApp, WeChat, Kakao, Line, you know people have shifted, and this is largely due to the millennials, right? Now these conversations, we have moved to the conversational economy. Now these conversations are getting automated, right? This is the new UI. Conversation is the new UI, and artificial intelligence solutions are actually powering that, new UI experience. So, I call it the AI fight to the finish. I think in India, elsewhere in the world, there are great examples of artificial intelligence being, leveraged already. So I call it the fight to the finish. Who is going to be the first one to actually leverage the true potential, right? And before we move into, the aspects of AI, just few concepts. AI is using computer systems to simulate human intelligence processes at rapid speeds, right? Learning, reasoning, and self-correction. And you would have heard of this concept of machine learning as well. It's a subpart of AI that enables computer to learn without being explicitly programmed. Now that's the key part. That's the key part which excites most enterprises. But uh, I don't want to actually spoil the fun, but I want to also be realistic to say that what we are looking at currently is a transition from a supervisory learning to unsupervisory learning, which is largely the machine learning. What we see now with the advent of Facebook, Messenger bots, and some of the other AI applications around the market are largely in the realm of supervisory, where you have a design flow, where you actually, teach the system to perform a set of tasks, okay, and then it's a what if next, right? Is the system strong enough to learn on its own? Yes and no, right? It's still evolving, and that is where AI offers a great opportunity in future. Uh, One of the greatest benefit of AI is it's instant, personalized, right? And which actually enhances the experience of customer, to a different world. I think a lot of people who have used AI have seen amazing results on the satisfaction scores, or getting repeat values. Investments in artificial intelligence have been increasing by the roof, 300% increase in 2017, to gain powerful insights for faster decision making, strategic planning, marketing, product development, and now also e-commerce. And I had shared with my Twitter colleagues some article, and my LinkedIn fans some articles on Amazon, what Amazon is doing around AI. And what Jeff Bezos talked about yesterday was all around how artificial intelligence is actually powering Amazon in the next future of Amazon, right? Not only the Alexa that we know it, not only the Echo that we know it, but also the backend, also the robotic processing, also the supply chain, also identifying recommendations, identifying personalization, and what the customer is looking at. I think AI is really put to great use by Amazon. There are great examples of leveraging that solution. There's great potential for leaders to increase revenue and also cost improvements. And in case you're wondering what this diagram is on the left side of your screen, it's basically a example to showcase how AI is work in as far as a very simple art of drawing is concerned. As you start to draw, the tools, the recommended tools actually change, and the computer itself actually provides you an opportunity by recognizing these shapes and patterns and tells you that is this the pizza that you're trying. It's just an example to actually illustrate what AI is. Let's look at the recent development around the world. I think all of you know about what Apple did with Siri some time back, and what IBM Watson did in terms of the machine actually winning over Gary Kasparov, or IBM Watson in September of 2016 editing the trailer of the sci-fi film Morgan. Yes, yes, my friend, that was done only by AI. IBM Watson actually had done it and created a trailer, right? Looking at various success factors of what kind of trailers work, and what was the Morgan film all about. There have been few announcements by Intel. We've also heard a lot of noise around what AI will do in terms of displacement of the human force. Is it not great? I think there is enough research coming in from universities which say that, contrary to the popular belief, it's not going to be imminent threat to humankind, but the opportunity exists of human beings actually leveraging it for their, greater good. There's this great consortium being created now of Google, Facebook, Amazon, IBM, and Microsoft, creating an AI partnership. And largely they've realized that, and all of these, by the way, have their own, platforms. Google has a Google Assistant, and they have a Google Home now. Apple has Siri, Microsoft has Cortana, Amazon has Alexa and Echo. Samsung has recently launched with their Bixby, IBM has Watson, and I think all these are joining together to spread awareness about the opportunities that exist and set standards for research. Interesting news coming in from the White House, which released, a report titled "The Future of Artificial Intelligence," which says that AI has the potential to provide significant benefits across a range of defense-related activities as well. So it's no longer only the customers at large, but also in defense that we see the applicability of AI. Now, let's also look at, the landscape of artificial intelligence. And surprise, surprise, if you see, US is leading as far as, the number of startups are concerned around AI, but India is not behind. Yes, India is behind only UK with 169 startups in this space, and this is a great opportunity for all of us, in this part of the world. Which are the verticals which are seeing the big boom in AI? Largely fintech, okay, healthcare, and transport and retail and e-commerce are also, kind of catching up. But this amazing opportunity and the first mover advantage that these fintech and the healthcare players are getting is simply mind blowing. And we'll talk about some examples of how Indian enterprises are actually using AI. Let's look at the sector-wise adoption of AI, right? And it's interesting because we look at AI and we say that it will lead to cost reduction. That's the natural response. But then look at what the opportunity is. Robo advisory, as some of you would have heard it, the $2.2 trillion worth of assets could be actually managed by robo advisors by 2020. That's up from 255 billion in 2018. Now, that's a great potential. Talk about computers and systems actually managing your assets, right? Two, looking at $16.3 billion estimated size of the global agribot market by 2020, up from 817 million in 2030, right? So it's no longer only finance, but also agriculture that is, kind of seeing. Or talk to about $70 billion estimated size of AI-based analytics market by 2020, which is up from $8.2 billion. So if you see, I think there is no sector which can say that they are divided or they will not find any applicability of AI. And it will be interesting to know at the end of the session how many of you are planning to look at leveraging AI for your businesses, and what are the use cases that you feel are relevant for you. Let's quickly look at the AI ecosystem, and largely if you look at the spectrum, there is messaging platform on one side, and I think WeChat is a great example of how AI can play an amazing role without kind of without being seen. And that's the beauty of technology, that it should work without being visible to the customers. And lot of conversations and a lot of enterprises have actually leveraged WeChat platform to build chatbots on it, and Facebook Messenger is following soon. Some of the others are like X.ai, Assistant.to, and you have finance and law firms like Larry or Wealth Firm. You have shopping assistants like Trunk Club or Denary, who are some examples of how AI is being put to use. Or it could be the fulfillments, whether it is a logistics center, whether it's food delivery, and we spoke about the great example of Amazon any which ways, right? Or transportation. Uber is also using AI to figure out to optimize the route, and also to actually maximize the earnings for their drivers in terms of simplifying. Okay, let's quickly move on to the next part, which is interesting one. What are the use cases of artificial intelligence? And there are four broad use cases in my view of how AI can play a part, and that's starting with automated processes. That's a great opportunity. Virtual customer support, right? That's a great this is the buzzword. Frankly, the virtual customer support is the buzzword that we see every now and then. However, having said that, I do feel that there's a great opportunity in awareness and familiarity as well. And for those who do not believe, there is an amazing opportunity to enhance revenue as well using AI. So what are the jobs to be done? If you look at automated processes, what the customers are saying, enterprises are saying is, help me automate the transactional workflow. When it comes to virtual customer support, it's all about resolving my queries real time, helping me interact 24/7. I don't want to be restricted only to the pesky call center or to the IVR automated. Get me something which actually resolves my problem real time. That's the jobs to be done. When it comes to awareness and familiarity, I think the key insight there is, help me navigate. Customers are saying, help simplify the information. Do not give me complex. And healthcare is a great opportunity where AI can play a part in simplifying some of the surgeries, some of the complex terminologies, and bring this to life as far as normal customers are concerned. Or enhancing revenue, right? Talk about face-to-face or talk about buying online. AI can play a great part in helping identify the best solutions, or it can play a great part in identifying triggers, right? Opportunities, alerts for our salespeople. So let's look at some of the applications of these four distinct use cases, starting with automated processes. I think secure processes, without a doubt. I think a large part of AI is being implemented to build security, cyber security. That's a great threat now, and how artificial intelligence can play a part in actually giving signals much before that. And for e-commerce, it could be as simple as tagging of categories. And I've almost lost count of how many millions of products or SKUs are available in all e-commerce firms together. But imagine they apply it if they were to actually manually tag all these products or SKUs. It's not possible at all. All of this is powered now by AI. Or if you look at it, the processes getting automated are also looking at data-led insights. And at this stage, let me offer an example of an Indian private sector bank without naming them. 40% of the 1,000 processes actually at this bank are being automated as we speak. And in the next 12 months, they will look at these 40% being automated, right? That's the size of the opportunity that we're looking at as far as the first use case is concerned. Looking at the second one, which is virtual customer support, I think bank avatars, we've already heard of a few banks in private sector which already launched their own versions of AI. Virtual agents, if you look at mutual fund or artificial or life insurance industry, virtual agents are an opportunity. And also interesting is sentiment analysis. We never get to actually identify what the customer is feeling, when it comes to interacting with the customer on in the call center. AI is now giving opportunity to learn about what the customer is feeling. Some examples of Indian firms again here. banks which have actually implemented AI have seen their customer queries on call center being reduced by one third. That's the early results that have been seen by banks here in India. Let's look at the awareness and familiarity. And here, we have the horizontal mobile assistants, and I spoke about that in my earlier part, or voice recognition. I think uh, what Gartner says is by 2025, 30% of the searches will be powered by voice, and that's an area again where AI will play a part, especially in leveraging Bharat. There's India's two world, India and Bharat, and I think voice recognition can play a very, very important role in leveraging Bharat for us and opening up that sector. Or vertical chatbots, right? We spoke about it. Enhance revenue. I think we spoke about the $2.2 trillion opportunity of robo advisory. We look at conversational commerce, where on the Facebook Messenger itself, you could actually book an Uber, or give a gift, or kind of book a movie ticket, and so on and so forth. And I think with payment simplification also, this AI ecosystem on the conversational platform itself will be revolutionary. Many enterprises are leveraging AI to create personalization, right? So at this stage, I'm going to go into my third poll, and I'm going to ask Divya to, start the poll. And the poll is, which of these four distinct business use cases you feel are relevant for your businesses? Divya, over to you.
Done. Received approximately 60% votes, another 40% to go.
We have reserved last part of the session for Q&A, so I'm going to be only about 2-3 slides more.
Sure. So we have received around 78% of the poll votes.
Let's cross
So
80. Let's cross 80%. Yeah.
yes, so we have the
Okay.
results.
Yeah. What are the results?
Around 44% says automated process, 25% say virtual customer support, 18% says awareness and familiarity, and next 14% says enhanced revenue.
Okay. Very, 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 very insightful indeed. And I think this mirrors what people are, doing as far as the fintech is concerned and the healthcare is concerned. And okay, moving on to, the next bit. Obviously, all this is rosy picture, but what is the reality? There are four major hurdles to actually seeing mainstream adoption of artificial intelligence. And the first one, and my favorite one, is unsupervised learning. And I think I spoke about it in earlier part, is that systems have to be taught initially, and it all boils down to content. It all boils down to the workflows that you can create with your operations, with your IT teams, with your business teams, right? Which will enable the system to learn by itself. It's not a machine that will understand your business context by itself. So I think there's a great amount of work required, to make the system learn. So this unsupervisory part of it is something which is a hurdle. The second big hurdle is creativity and abstract thinking, and this is where I said AI is a new UI, because it's not only technology, but it also to do with the design and what you could do with this creative process. And this is where it is all about conceptualizing the general idea, right, and identifying what it could be. You have to identify the abstract and then move into what AI could do for you. AI solutions do not exist by itself, right? They have to be combined with something practical, whether it is self-driving car, whether it is existing into your home appliances. I think that's another third area of hurdle which AI has to cross, which is integration. And the fourth one is interoperability, right? Now, customers are not going to be bothered about which solution of AI that I go with, right? Whether Alexa works with my television or whether Alexa works with my refrigerator or my car. I think this is where the opportunity is to say that can we create ecosystems and infrastructure which is interoperable. Yes, so quickly moving on to the last part of my presentation, which is you have heard about virtual reality and AI. Now, the most difficult part of building the cost benefit analysis of actually taking this business use case and going to your management and saying, yes, I've heard about it. Now let us try, right? So what could be the CBA? The first one and the more important one, which very often people forget, is the impact on the brand awareness and consideration, right? And I spoke about the fact that how the world is today clutter, uh, and if you have an AI solution, if you have a VR solution, it actually enables you to break that clutter, increase awareness levels amongst the target audience. At least that's been the case for us as well. Our earned media after the launch of virtual reality has been stupendous for us. We have been able to be um, reaching a segment which earlier we were not reaching, right? Because of virtual reality, it has been possible for us to create that brand awareness about PNB MetLife amongst our target audience. Second opportunity is for you to look at what will be the percentage improvement, okay, if you redesign or build new experiences or processes. And I think the group mentioned about largely 44% on the automated processes, but also look at new experiences that you can create, using AI or VR. The third one is the increase in customer satisfaction and the NPS scores. And believe you me when I say this, that in 5 years' time, the board will have a KPI which will be NPS or equivalent measure. Right now, we are measuring customer satisfaction only at the management level or only at a functional level. But as we move to customer experience being the most differentiator factor in brands, I think NPS scores are going to be truly, truly important. And AI and VR offers that opportunity of impacting that positively. And the last one is what could be the increase in the business revenue or cost efficiencies that AI or VR could bring in. Now, at this stage, I'll ask each of you to think of a small exercise on what could be the AI and VR use cases for your business. And Divya is going to tell you how to participate in it. But just to help you with identifying what could be the potential AI and VR use cases, it's a very simplified flow that I'm going to just put on the screen right now. Look at the entire purchase life cycle, right from the analytics to awareness to service to loyalty, and look at where the opportunities of AI and VR to your business could be. So maybe about 2-3 minutes for you to participate in this exercise. Divya, you want to share with them the rules?
Yes, you can just put down your answers into the questions panel, which is there on the right hand side, and Abhishek and I can go through the inputs you have provided.
Okay, let's go to the next. Let's go to a wrap up of the session today, and then we'll open it for Q&A. What are the key takeaways? I'm going to just start my webcam as well so that you can see it's not a AI machine speaking to you, but it's me. Yes, it's me there. Yeah. So key takeaways from the session today is digital capabilities, adoption, and usage of VR and AI are evolving at a very fast pace. Okay, let me just stop this. Yes. Disruptive threats from new entrants armed with potential to redefine traditional business models. So take a look at the fintech startup or startup otherwise who can actually potentially, kind of be a threat to your traditional way of working. Third, Technology, process, and experience-led innovation for customer convenience. That's a great opportunity for all of us. Organizations need to identify business use cases and associated benefit. And the important attribute is adapt, collaborate with agility, test and learn approach to key to successful implementation. When we did it, we were not successful the first time, so it was the second time that we were successful with this. And last is that change management is at the core of VR and AI adoption. And all of us are fans of light humor, so I'm going to just end the session by saying that scientists had to purge urban dictionaries data from IBM Watson memory because it learned to swear. So this is where AI use could be very interesting. This is another scenario which could happen sometime in the future. Here my sensors detect that you are scanning my cards, or it could be a future that Tesla has actually imagined for us, and this is where the evolution of man would also look like a few years down the line. Yes, so this was all about what I had to share with you. I hope this was useful to you. So we're going to now break into Q&A. It's about 10 minutes to the webinar closing. So Divya, if you can share the Q&A, and I'll be more than happy to answer.
Sure. Thank you so much, Abhishek, for such a great session. Everyone, you can put in your questions in the questions panel. I read out the questions. We have 10 minutes, so we'll be taking up next 10 to 15 questions quickly. And I'm also launching out a poll for people who are interested in getting a digital marketing course. Just fill in a yes or a no if you are already a participant of Digital Vidya. You can just say you are already a participant. And I can see some questions which are coming up. For the people who missed the session or attended it late, you will get the recording of the session. You can go through the recording. Latest by Tuesday, we'll have the recording dropped to you over an email. So taking up first question, Dheeraj wants to know, how can a person build up a brand with AI?
Okay, if you can be more specific about which sector, which industry, then I can talk more about it. But let me give a scenario of, life insurance. And I don't know how many of you have heard of this brand called Lemonade. It's a startup in US, and it's been only 6 months old. And what they did is simply fantastic. They were able to actually process a claim within 3 seconds of the claim being submitted by a customer, and that was possible because of AI. What that did is, most of us in the life insurance industry across the world now actually look up to Lemonade, right? Talk about creating brand awareness. That's that Lemonade comes right up there as far as using AI for a very tedious process of claims, and they automated it. They made their engine actually learn that what kind of claim could be processed, and in this case that the claim was genuine, and they process it. If I'm not wrong, I think the claim was upwards of some $2,000, $3,000. I hope that answers your question.
Thanks, Abhishek. Moving to next question by Kumar. How can AI and VR be used by new entrepreneurs?
Okay, how I wish again, this had a sector specific, but if you look back to the business use cases, I think if you're a new startup and if you're looking at creating awareness, I would certainly recommend using artificial intelligence to start with, to identifying a customer need, or kind of an opportunity. And the first one could be as simple as the awareness and familiarity, while not many of you actually spoke about it. But let's say if you're in the healthcare space and you are wanting to talk about cancer and heart diseases, right? But you know that the available information is too complex for customers to digest. You could potentially create a chatbot which can answer all possible questions related to heart and cancer. By the way, this example I give because we recently did that at PNB MetLife as well, and we launched something called Dr. Jeevan. It's available on Facebook Messenger. If you go to our Facebook page and click on Messenger, get started, you'll be able to interact. And you could just start with some health quizzes, health assessments, interact with people. This is a great form of actually bringing customers to you rather than you having to actually go to customers. So some use case again. But when you're asking a question, tell me the sector, and then probably I'll be able to give more specific examples to you. But I hope that answers your question.
Thanks, Abhishek. So there's one more question by Bhavesh. He wants to know which Indian banking companies has invested in AI, and can you give us an example of some success stories which you know?
Okay, so I decided not to name, but let me share with you. ICICI Bank has decided to look at the first use case of artificial intelligence of automated processes. The examples that I gave were for ICICI Bank. They have looked at automating thousand odd processes, right? And the other example is HDFC Bank. I think they launched EVA, and they also launched a Facebook Messenger. Both of them do two different things. The Facebook Messenger actually largely caters to bill servicing and payments and so on and so forth, whereas EVA on their website actually helps the customer simplify information, and that's a great form of UI because you no longer have to go through the entire website. You just actually speak to EVA, and you're able to kind of answer. Interesting statistics which came in the papers is they had 750 concurrent sessions of EVA at a point in time. Right now, that's a great opportunity created by EVA because you would not have invested in creating 750 telecallers at the back end. Now that's what AI capability can do for your business. I hope that answers your question. Having said that, I gave only two examples, but what I know of my peer group is almost all banks have actually invested in creating AI capabilities. And I know for a fact that Yes Bank or Kotak and many others have also invested in this field. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. This must have answered many of the queries. I could see some examples, some example requests which everyone has asked for. So moving forward with Amar's question, he's into health and fitness industry. Can you suggest him how he can use VR and AI for his industry, his business growth?
Okay, so this is my favorite one, right? Now, imagine all these health organizations or these exercise industry talking about how fit you can be, right? They show you an advertisement of before and after, right? Can through virtual reality you create an experience in which you actually showcase the person, how the person will be in 5 years time, 10 years time, or maybe 6 months time after following a regime, right? Now, when you visualize yourself in that scenario, I think that creates a profound impact. uh, that's one. Second could be very simple as you have a treadmill, right? But you actually want the person to feel that the person is running in, let's say, Australia or let's say Paris. You could actually create a virtual reality environment, okay, a module where all you got to use is your own treadmill or your gym's treadmill. But wearing that virtual reality device, you could actually experience, running into a different environment. Now, I would exercise caution before doing that, but that's an opportunity for sure as far as VR is concerned. And I think on the AI, we spoke about how AI can play a part in simplifying the awareness and familiarity, and building that engagement, much needed engagement with the customers. It also allows you an opportunity of enhancing your revenue, and you have likes of Practo and Librade who have actually got many doctors put together. But if you look at it, customer queries can be segregated into two types, right? One is common set of queries that are coming on the healthcare, and then the others are very, very specific to the doctors, right? Can you create an environment in which AI actually manages the first level queries, or probably asking more information from the customer in terms of giving specific answers, and then passing on that information to your expert panel, right? Which, by the way, also powers your AI engine, and your AI engine becomes more powerful. Like we are trying to create with Dr. Jeevan. Dr. Jeevan is learning every day, and Dr. Jeevan is learning what to, what based on what Dr. Jeevan is interacting with. So, those are possible use cases for the healthcare industry. I hope that answers your question, but good question indeed.
Thanks. So I have got plenty of questions about people who are already into marketing and they want to know how can they actually grow their skills into AI and VR and what will be the industry requirement to be a professional.
Okay, this is an amazing question, because I also saw some of the questions saying that we got to know more about AI and VI, but it's still not clear how to blend my digital marketing career with AI. I think it's a valid question. Now let me talk about myself and let me put the webcam on so that you can see me. Yes, when I started talking about or maybe developing into AI and VR, I did not know anything about it. I come from a business background and then moved into marketing and then into digital space. And what I realized is it actually has to start with the customer problem, right? Even in marketing, there is a customer problem that we are facing, whether it is the awareness, whether it is familiarity, or whether it is actually improving the purchases. It all boils down to that, or whether it is the engagement that we're trying to create. I think for all of you digital marketing professionals, it's important to identify the insight or the problem that your enterprise is facing. If it is awareness and familiarity, you could actually start with AI, right? Building in tools which allow engagement. You know more about how new tools can be utilized to actually engage. The power of AI and VR is much beyond our imagination because it actually transcends and creates a different experience. It's no longer only Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn or website that we're talking about. It actually talks about a different ecosystem that you can create. So that could be one of the use cases for you. How do you learn about it? I think you just have to read, and this session probably would have given enough trigger for you to dwell more about this subject. As we speak, both AI and VR are evolving. It also emanates from your interest, and frankly, for me, it was more of a passion, and more of the passion actually colliding with the business interest. And luckily for us in PNB MetLife, we were able to actually implement both virtual reality as well as artificial intelligence, right? And delving into these technologies, so you learn on the job. But for all of you, I would say that keep following this space. Look at courses that Digital Vidya can offer. Maybe that's an opportunity, Divya, for you guys as well. But keep reading. Amazon is a great example, and Facebook, I would say, to look at VR. And also, lastly, to cajole and persuade your management to put a certain portion of the budget for trying out, VR and AI experiments. I would say that's an investment worth done. So maybe that answers your question.
Great. Thank you so much, Abhishek. I think we are good with winding up the session. It's already 4, we have crossed 4. So
Yeah.
thanks so much, Abhishek, for such a great session. We really enjoyed exploring a different opportunity, which was restricted to digital marketing for our audience till now. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending the session. You all will get the recording delivered to your inbox by Tuesday. Have a great weekend till then. Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Happy Good Friday and happy weekend. Thank you. Bye bye.